Hi, welcome. My name is Björn. I'm co-CEO from Resolution, and today I want to give you an exclusive preview of our upcoming features for the user management and license optimizer app for Atlassian Cloud. So stay tuned.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down. I'm too fly. This is my time. Ready to shine. Brighter than all of the lights. 'Cause when it's game time.
Welcome back. So in this video, in roughly the next 15 minutes, I will show you quickly what our user manager can today, but more interesting, what are the upcoming features? So means when you want to give it a try already now, but keep in mind our upcoming stuff because it can simplify your life massively and it can help you to save licenses. So what is the general idea on the license or user management and license optimizer? So you have normally the following scenario, that you have your purchased Atlassian licenses on an annual or monthly plan. But when you look a little bit more deeper in your licenses, then you have different kind of users. You have everyday users on the bottom, and then you have user groups like from time to time users or sometimes users, and then maybe a little bit buffer for other users, upcoming users. So the challenge with that is that you pay for a lot of users which are not using the app, and this is expensive. And here is a way to optimize this. So means what we want to achieve here is that the sometimes user and from time to time users are minimized or deactivated when they are not using the app. So the effects will be following. On an annual plan, this, for example, can help you to avoid the next user tier upgrade. But it can also help you when you do it on a continuous way to minimize your next renewal. On a monthly plan, you definitely check what Atlassian is doing with, it's called maximum quantity billing. So it can help you to lower the peak of maximum quantity billing in an actual month and can help you to save money in the next months. So besides all the other things what the app can do, like group management, suspending users, being compliant with a proper user management and automate this, user management and license optimizer can help to avoid these unnecessary costs for unused licenses. Okay, some things first. So our user management app, before I go direct into the demo, has a couple of important aspects. So first of all, you install the user manager app in just one Jira instance in your organization. You can see then the whole organization, all Jira products, but also all other products. So means you can manage your whole organization with one app installation. Second point, our user management app is a full Forge app. So means no data leaves the Atlassian universe. There's a third aspect, which is interesting. So the app is made for small and medium use cases, but also especially for enterprise use cases. So means what we created in the background is a Forge SQL database and a smart queuing system, which allows us to do changes and to do it on a proper way of a couple of hundred or a couple of thousands or 10,000 users. So this is also our goal with the application, that we support small companies, but also enterprise companies. So means before you do all your stuff with automations or scripts or whatever by yourself, and you will be super frustrated because of Atlassian API timeouts, Atlassian API quota limits, or the slowness of Atlassian APIs, give the user manager a try. We can help you that you can avoid this pain. Okay, let's jump into the app. This is the user manager dashboard. So when you open the app and you have installed it and the first sync is done, you will be here. So in the dashboard, you can see the situation of your whole organization or of a specific site. So you can also go to situations for specific products. So how many users you have on Jira, for example, and how many inactive users. What is going on in Jira Product Discovery, or what is going on in Jira Service Management. So as you can see, I have already here a very good overview, and we will extend this dashboard in future with more cards and also historical graphs that you are always up to date with what's going on in my instance. The heart of the app is at the moment the user browser and will be always an important point. The user browser shows you exactly what is going on in your organization or in your site. So what's the structure here? The structure is you have a capable filters here which you can combine. I will show you in a second. You have a sync button for synchronizing your organization information, all the users, groups, etc. with our database. We are syncing it every 24 hours anyway, but if you have fresh changes, you can trigger the sync here. And you have the user browser. So here you have a couple of informations. You have the user information, on which site the user is active, what are the groups. Dark gray groups are product access groups, light gray groups are normal groups. You can see the products, you can see the user roles, and you can see the last active date. The last active date is dynamic. At the moment, it's showing, because I'm all sites, it shows me the youngest last active date of the user in all products. When I switch to a specific product, it shows just the activity date of this specific product. And I have for sure the status of the user, if it's deactivated, invited, etc. So now you can search for a lot of things. You can search for username mail. You can search for show me all users which are inactive since 7 days in Jira without having Confluence access. Yeah, so the combinations are endless. You can combine it with user roles. You can combine it with user status. You can exclude groups. You can include groups. So here you see already that we clearly have this enterprise approach, because in bigger organizations you have normally super complex scenarios with thousands or hundreds or thousands of groups. Here you can create your filters for that, and you can save the filters. You can also search, for example, and that's what I really like, for email domains. You can combine it with multiple domains, for example, to find your external suppliers. So reset the filter when filters are saved. You can simply reuse them for the activities what you want to do. So what you can do here easily is select them all. On some point there is here a pagination. You have 200 users per page, then pagination. You can select all users per page or all the users, etc. What are now the actions, the possible actions? The possible actions from the user browsers are bulk changes. So these bulk changes can be removing app access from a specific app or all apps. You can suspend users or you can restore users. You can remove groups and you can add groups, and you can combine all the stuff. So at the moment, the order how you click the actions is also the order how we queue the actions. So in the future, we will have a more visible ordering system. At the moment, it's a more admin life hack in the application. This is one part. When you have saved filters, you can automate all the tasks already. So, and what we are doing here, for example, I give you just a quick example and a quick demo what we are doing in our organization. So I have a user here that's Connie Confluence. Connie Confluence is at the moment active here in one project, can do stuff and so on. So what I now do with our user manager is I run my task, and tasks are scheduled bulk actions or saved bulk actions. So task looks like this. So this is my deactivate Connie Confluence task. It has a name. It's based on a filter. As I said, you use the saved filters for reusing them in operations. So that's my filter who's just searching for Connie. And at the moment, I have this task manual, but I can also schedule it here on a daily basis or just Fridays and so on. So you're getting the idea. You can also go for more crazy intervals, like every 3 months on a specific time, etc. So and then you choose the actions. My action here is removing all app access which exist and adding a group deactivated users to the user. This is a labeling group what we are using that allows us to find the deactivated users easily and to do more automations with that. You will get the idea in the future feature and also in a couple of minutes. Okay, so that's my action. I run this action now. Let's assume Connie was not active for a while. I run the action, and what you can see now is our queuing system. So this is visible, by the way, for all administrators who are using the app at the same time. We want that they are aware of what is going on at the moment, that they can see it when another administrator or an automation is doing something here. So the task is scheduled. The task simple will do what I showed. It will deactivate Connie and add the deactivated user group. So this messages also stay for 10 minutes that administrators can see, okay, something happened in the last couple of minutes. So the task is executed now. When I now switch back to Connie and I try to do something, I should get an error message. And here we are. Here's the error message. Why? I have no product access anymore. So what I can do now, and let me switch back to this to show you this. When I go now to my normal Jira, I still want to work with Connie. Connie is not using Jira at the moment, but maybe she gets a new task. So we have a couple of configuration steps where we have already YouTube videos for, or they are also in our documentation, or simple open a ticket with us and we help you with that. So we can keep users assignable in cloud when they are deactivated, like here. Or we can also go for notifications. And mentioning here also works. We can also make sure that the user still gets notifications. It's depending per product. It's in some cases a little bit hacky, but the benefit of saving the money because a person is not using the app and keeping them in the loop is well balanced. So feel free to check it out or contact us for this aspect. So you see, I still can interact with Connie as another user. So now let's assume Connie wants to use Jira now. So what I'm simple doing is I go back to the normal Jira page. And what happens now is the Atlassian login identifies that Connie has no product access. And we have set up in this environment an app access rule that everybody with our domain gets following user rules automatically. Our gatekeeper is our single sign-on in this moment. So we have a login with a single sign-on. Also, Skim is here provisioned. So when a user is capable to go to Jira via single sign-on and they have no product access, they're getting it automatically with the app access settings. Also, this in our documentation. So Connie is now active again, can work. So what I normally then need to run in our user manager app is a cleaning task because we have now following aspect. Connie has a deactivated user group, but she has also product access again. So this is a situation what shouldn't exist. So means I have here simple a cleanup task which search exactly for these users. I run it now and then it removes the deactivated user group and the user is clean and looking like a normal user. I think you get the idea. The combination of groups, automated tasks, specific filtering, and configuration of the Atlassian system allows me to have these fully automatic deactivation and reactivation process. So this scenario is now just one scenario because this is a scenario where we have a relatively simple single sign-on and Skim stuff. We are not giving product access via Skim. It all happens in the Atlassian world. And we are fine with the aspect that when a user is reactivated, the user gets automatically one standard setup per domain because I only can set up this in Atlassian per domain. This is the case for a couple of companies, maybe smaller companies or companies with a really flat Atlassian hierarchy. But a lot of organizations are more complex. So means what we want to do for these more complex organizations are additional features for that. And I switch now to the mockup that you're getting the idea. But first, another aspect. In a lot of organizations, the IDP handles the product access group in the Atlassian world. And this is okay because my IDP need to be my single source of truth, who has access to a specific system, permissions, and so on. But there's a downside of this. When the IDP has a group, which is exactly the product access group in the Atlassian world, then an administrator in Atlassian can't change the product access, because the product access group, which are coming via SCIM and as a single sign-on to Atlassian, are read-only groups. So because the IDP is a single source of truth. But this limits every administrator to do changes, to do ad hoc changes, to do problematic changes in when you have somehow a compliance issue, whatever, and your IDP is not quick enough, or the IDP team hasn't reacted on it, etc. But it also hinders you in doing these license optimization, taking away product access, which is the build access level. So means for when you are in a situation that you have this mapping topic, or that you have the IDP stuff, that the IDP handled the product access group, you need to do a mapping. So means you need to decouple the IDP group and the product access group, but you need to create a sync between both. In theory, you can do it already with our app. So you can do it with a lot of automated tasks. So it depends a little bit on how many scenarios you have. So you have per group, you need 4 automated tasks for deactivation, reactivation, syncing, and cleaning. So we have another demo instance where we're doing this exactly. And they need to be scheduled on a proper timing. So it works already, so you can use it today. But we also identified, okay, that's way too complicated. We need to find a better way. A second point is what I mentioned in the beginning. Our app is synchronizing with the Atlassian database every 24 hours. So this means you have also a downside that changes can keep 24 hours. And this is normally not what you want in a reactivation scenario. When a user tries to access an issue, they want to, or work item, they want to see the work item immediately and not in 24 hours. So we identified these problems and we have a new solution for that. Let me show you how it is, how it will look like. We are going to our mockup now. It doesn't exist yet. We are working on it and will be available in a couple of weeks. And please don't share the video with our competitors and so on. Feel free to share it in your company, but the video is unlisted and it would be great when you keep it as an exclusive preview. Thank you. So you can see the mockup looks relatively similar like our user manager. I have the dashboard, looks a little bit different, but the general structure is the same. So I have the dashboard, I have the user browser, but I have also 2 new tasks. I have a provisioning task and I have an activity log task. For the provisioning task, what we want to do here is exactly the mapping. We want to help you that you have an easy tool to do these mappings. And that's how it works. You're creating a new mapping, for example, for your DevOps group. You call it DevOps. You select your trigger group, which is in most of the cases the IDP group, could be also another group in theory for users which are not managed by IDP. And then in the next step, you simply define, okay, my DevOps team gets Jira, gets Confluence on this side, always gets a Bitbucket on this side, and it's maybe also an Atlas Goal user, and so on. So means you're defining what are the product access levels for your DevOps team. On the next screen, you can simply decide if you want to have the inactivity detection and also deactivation enabled. So I say yes here, 7 days. So when a DevOps user is not using one of these tools or all the tools together in 7 days, we will deactivate the user. Reactivation. Should the user automatically reactivate or should the user use an approval request? We will deliver with this feature an approval system that you, for example, can use this system for external suppliers, external users, whatever. And then again, we need our group deactivated DevOps just for handling, finding these new DevOps thing. And now I have my setup. So what happens now in the background is that we are listening to all the IDP events which are coming via Skim. We are doing it via the Atlassian guard log. So means when there is a sync with the IDP and a new user goes to DevOps, we getting this information and we give the product access in less than a couple of minutes. So same as when a user is removed from a Skim group, we are taking away, when it's removed from a Skim group, then it can't log in anyway. But when a product access somehow is removed, we are executing this change in a couple of minutes. So the synchronization of the mapping is here an important point, and the app will handle it completely. So you don't need to take care of this. So let's assume the user is now deactivated, like we had in the previous example of Connie. But I don't want to use the app access settings per domain because I want that the DevOps users get exactly the DevOps stuff back. What our app will do is that we direct the user to a JSM portal which need to be set up. JSM is for free, below 2 agents, so it shouldn't be a problem. In most of the cases, you have anyway a JSM portal active. If not, you just activate a JSM portal, and we will redirect the user when he tries to log in to the JSM portal. But it's not what we are doing, it's what Atlassian is doing. Because when they identify the user has no product access, then it checks if the user has a customer access for JSM, and then the redirection happens in this direction. So in this portal, we will show your account is deactivated. The user can click on reactivate now and can then simple reactivate the account, and we reactivate the product access immediately. So this closes a whole loop of deactivation, reactivation in just a couple of minutes and fully automated. There are tons of more things, so please give it a try. The feature will be available in a couple of weeks. When you want to learn more about it, please contact us. I'm super happy to jump with you in a Zoom call that we can discuss your requirements and we can check how we can solve them. Thank you very much.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time. Ready to shine.